New tonight, we're hearing from Dawson's city attorney about the allegations made against the city manager and his involvement in a 2013 assault on the mayor. It's a story we first told you about yesterday, and WALB News 10's Amanda Hoskins joins us now with more about the attorney's comments.
Tonight, it's still unclear if there is an investigation into city manager Barney Parnacott's involvement in the 2013 shooting of Dawson's former mayor, but we know the city isn't taking action right now. LaShawn Moore is a convicted felon in Dougherty County. He was also charged with being a party to the 2013 assault on Dawson's mayor at the time, Christopher Wright. In a statement he made to the GBI, Moore said Dawson's city manager Barney Parnacott paid him to go after the mayor. City Attorney Tommy Coleman tells WALB News 10 he spoke with the prosecutors who say they don't feel Moore is a credible source. They don't have enough evidence to take further action. We do know there is an ongoing investigation into the 2013 shooting, but nobody will confirm if Parnacott is specifically being investigated. WALB News 10 has left several voicemails with Parnacott, but he has not returned any of our calls.
Today is April the 1st, 2014. I'm George Boston Rhymes. I just left America's Georgia, Conneaut Farms, and I decided to come to Dawson, Georgia, wherein the mayor, what's his name? Chris Wright. Chris Wright. And while riding through town here, I found an individual, I think he lives next to the mayor. And will you tell me what happened on that night? Because it seemed as if all we get down here in South Georgia is snippets and things of that nature the night when the mayor was shot. What happened?
I cannot
tell
you.
Well, what's your name, first of all?
Pastor Moreland.
Pastor? Oh, you're a pastor? Okay.
Pastor.
Okay. All right, what happened as far as you know?
As far as I know, this is what I heard.
Okay.
I'm laying in the bed.
Yes, sir.
I heard shot.
Yes, sir.
Pow, pow, pow. And I heard, ow. Then I heard, pow, pow, pow. That's 6 times.
Wow.
I get up, come out of the door, and my wife come out the door. Out front of my house right there. And I walked out the front with my light shining around, nothing. Went back in the house, got back in the bed. I was laying in the bed, then I heard somebody holler, help, help, help. The third one was low. I got up, again, I said, baby, someone hollering for help. She said, sound like somebody hit the side. I said, no, that's somebody hollering for help. So I got my light and come back out the house. When I come out this time, I come out the front, went around the side of the house. The fence right there, I shine my light. I said, I know I heard something. Trying to get myself together. So I heard something. You have no little road. And so when I got around there, I kept shining. I saw something dark laying on the ground. I had on dark clothes. And I said, hey, I said, who is that there? He said, this is me. I said, who? He said, Chris. I said, Chris? I said, what the matter? He said, Rev, I've been shot 5 times. And that's what he said.
He said that then?
He said it then.
Okay.
And I was on this side of the fence, so I run around to that side of the fence where he was. And I kneel over him. So when I kneel over him, I turn him up. When I turn him up, blood was gushing out of him. From here, down, running down. And he I didn't want to get up. I told him, lay down, baby. That's what I told him. Then he said, Rev, he said, pray for me. I don't know what he said, pray for me. And God did what he said, pray for me. And I told him, I just lay here. Then my wife, I guess she was dialing for the police. I don't know who called him now.
Right,
there was
right.
a bunch of people doing it. But other than that, for me seen who it was, I don't know. The young man pulled up. He jumped out of the car and he run there. And he said, I said, the madam been shot. He said, where mama? See, I didn't realize what he was talking about when he said mama. So he ran in the house. Once he ran in the house, and that left me there. Then the ambulance came and they come around there and hubble over, you know, and try to assist him and get him up. And once that was over with, we all got him up. Because I helped pick him up and put him on the stretcher. And once that got stretched, they put it. That was it. That was it.
Well, you mentioned the mother. How was the mother? What happened?
Well, I did go in the house. Okay. And when I went in the house, I seen the mother. She had a bra, nothing else, a bra, a short pants. And she was like, been roughed up, you know.
Roughed up?
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. It been roughed up. She, you know. And then the police told me, well, we got to solve a case. I said, well, I'm a neighbor. You know, I just kind of see what's going on. So I turn around and come on back out.
Okay. So it was a robbery then?
I couldn't.
You have no idea about that?
No.
No, you know as a burglar? What?
No, I couldn't say about robbery. I couldn't say about
what you've already said.
All I know is what I heard and that's it.
And what you said.
That's it.
Looking back on it, what do you think? Do you think that anything that you know of, and I know you get what you said, what do you think maybe could have been done differently? Nothing was. You don't see.
I couldn't comment on that.
You couldn't say nothing.
No, because all I go back to
what actually happened.
What actually happened. I know of. Anything else, who was here, who come over here, I couldn't hear nothing like that.
Well, one thing I would like to ask you, and then we'll be through with this, is that once did news media come over? Any news media come that night or look on anything? Or?
Some of it happened. I'm not sure who all come over that night.
What about the next day? Was you interviewed?
Well, I was interviewed, but they didn't ever show it.
Okay.
Over on Channel 10, I believe.
Okay, so you was interviewed, but it just never,
interviewed the way you know.
And you was
in my way.
Yeah, and you was here, and you actually saw what happened. But
I heard what happened.
I mean, you heard what happened, and you did see him on the ground. You saw. And yet, but somebody chose.
I'm the one that picked him up and put him on.
Right. Right. Okay, look here. What's your name again, my beautiful pastor?
Pastor Joseph Moore.
What church you pastor, brother?
Mount Zion Baptist Church, Brownwood, Georgia.
Thank you so much, my beautiful brother, and thank you for having the courage to stand up and say something, because as I travel South Georgia and Southeast Georgia, I find a lot of people won't talk, and I want you to know I appreciate that very much. Thank you so much. Peace be unto you, brother. Likewise, peace. Once again, this is the Ghetto Free Press, George Boston Rhines, and as you know, I have a 500,000 views, and the 500,000 views come about because of people like you and people like this, who refuse to sit back and let valuable news just go down the drain as if though a tree falls in the forest, and then they tell us the tree never fell, and our children are sitting under the tree, and we lived in the forest for so long. We know it's there, and so that's what we do. Our goal is to keep you informed. Just remember, education will save us, but ignorance will destroy us. Bye-bye. We're gone.
Now, this is really, both of y'all in the news business, in response to this article that the attorney for the Dawson News, Tommy Coleman, put in the Albany Herald on yesterday. Dawson attorney reports Thai city manager to shootings false. And he represents, have you read this? He represents the city of Dawson, and we pay his salary. that no one had filed any suit against the city or anyone in the city. So really, to me, that's a conflict of interest for him to be speaking on the behalf of someone else that's worked for the city, unless he had hired him, and he couldn't really represent him because it would be a conflict of interest. You ready?
Yep. Whenever you're ready.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, women, gentlemen of the jury, we're calling this press conference about LaShawn Moore, on Tuesday, March the 27th, 2018, testified under oath in the Parnacott District Superior Court that he was paid $1,000 to assassinate Christopher Wright. After that, the district attorney, Ron Smith, refused to get a lie detector test and refused to make bring charges against Parnacott. There should not be two yardsticks of justice. It appears that there is one yardstick for whites and one yardstick for black. Furthermore, I would like to add the city's attorney, Mr. Coleman, is representing the city manager, and no one, to my knowledge, has filed any lawsuit against the city or anyone that works for the city. It seemingly is a conflict of interest for Mr. Coleman is to go publicly stating on the behalf of the city manager. Furthermore, we would like for the district attorney is to treat the city manager as he treat any other citizen in this city or in this county, because there shouldn't be two yardsticks of justice, one for black folks and one for white folk. There is a number of black folk that the district attorney has brought before the grand jury, and they have decided their fate. This time, the district attorney is refusing to bring charges against the city manager, when there was other co-defendants has been brought before the judge and pleaded out. This man, LaShawn Moore, if he lied, that's his lie. The district attorney can get a polygraph test and bring him before a grand jury and let him stand there before the peers and be judged. But seemingly we don't need for Terrell County to keep sweeping things under the rug when it comes to whites in Terrell County, rich whites in Terrell County. Everything is being swept under the rug. When poor black people of color go to jail, be convicted, go to prison, and do their time.
Are you saying that this is an overall race issue?
It's boiling down to be a race issue. The Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department is being invited in to look at it, because there is definitely some partiality between how blacks are treated in the judicial system and how whites are treated in the judicial system.
All right. And what evidence do you all know of?
Well, the evidence I know of, I was in court Tuesday morning, the 27th of March. I heard Mr. LaShawn Moore say 3 times that he was paid $1,000 to the city by the city manager to kill this particular individual, Mr. Christopher Wright. The judge asked him repeatedly, do he stand by his testimony? He did. Secondly, the judge said to him, you will have to also come to court if need be and testify. The district attorney is saying to the city lawyer, Tommy Coleman, that he will not bring this before a grand jury. And Tommy Coleman really shouldn't be involved with the city manager unless someone had filed a suit against the city or the city manager. This to me is a conflict of interest, and the district attorney needs to get off the pot.
Do you know what your next steps are?
My next step would only be the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department, because the G.B.R. has interviewed all of these people 4 years ago, 2013, when this transpired. Mr. Moore was incarcerated for a bank robbery over in Albany, so he could not come to be sentenced for this crime until he had served his time for the bank robbery. So when he come before a judge, then he identified that he had been paid to do the job. The other two defendants before, their testimonies with the G.B.R. office, whatever is in that. So out of the three of them, somebody knows something. It was three black men.
Okay. Have you made any contacts with the DA, Barney Parnacott? No. I don't contact Parnacott. I called the district attorney this morning and asked the district attorney, I want to be fair before I go on the news and talk about what they had took to the news on yesterday. And I told him this morning if he would be willing to give the guy a polygraph test, then I would not even have this press conference. But he said no, he wasn't going to have no polygraph test because it wouldn't be relevant. So this man made a commitment or testified against under oath. Under oath. That's the only thing I have to go by. It's in writing. And I got to give Channel 10 credit. They put his testimony in writing on the television. But here the folk in Dawson, the attorney, Tommy Coleman, and the district attorney said they don't believe it. You know, who are they to say they don't believe it? Any other Negro, black person that commit a crime, they believe them, and they punish them to the full extent of the law. Okay. Do you have any questions?
It's time for justice to be done. It's time for justice to be done. I think the city of Dawson need to not fire the city manager, but they need to set him aside until this is cleared up. But they're doing everything they can to keep him running the city.
And as far as the NAAC.P, your next action, what are you going to do if there's no
My next action, we are going Tuesday to have a massive mass meeting here, and I'm going to try to get as many people as I can to the mass meeting to explain the conditions of the city under the leadership of the present administrator. Also to ask the city and the bank, under these circumstances, when somebody have been to court and have testified under oath that they have been paid by the city manager to kill somebody, to let him step aside until this is cleared up one way or another. I think he should face his peers just like anyone else. Let the judicial system work, because the district attorney and Tommy Coleman is calling the shots. They're saying what they believe. What that man say mean nothing, but it's in black and white. It's with the courts.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes,
you remember me, I came over when he had recently got shot. I interviewed you before. I went over there and recorded the site where he was shot at. And I thought that everything was up and over. So now, how did this resurface?
When you interviewed me before,
yes,
they had not charged Mr. Moore with the crime. He was incarcerated, waiting to be sentenced. He had to do so many years, 4 years, for bank robbery. Then they brought him in. We're not going on rumors. We're not going on innuendos about what somebody else said was happened. But what he testified in court under oath, and what he signed the document in the Patala Judicial Circuit saying I was paid to kill a man. But after he didn't die, all he was going to get was $1,000.
Okay, now the federal government, I think, if I'm not mistaken, when I actually filmed the mayor's house and the cameras that was put up around his house for surveillance, I think it was.
Yeah.
Was that or was that not the federal government that put those cameras up? And if so, huh?
G.B.R.
The G.B.R. with the G.B.R. Okay. Okay. Well, then they ought to have a prime interest in this story.
They are. They were in court. They was in court Tuesday. Okay. The agents were there. Okay. Now, I don't know if the district attorney, I'm not a lawyer, will allow them to bring a warrant or not. But the G.B.R., I would love to have them to interview because they have oodles of information.
Yes. Well, my question to you as well, I'm covering 25 to 35 cities wherein black elected officials are being, the voters, first of all, are being suppressed, intimidated, harassed, denied the right to vote, and the new elected officials are being removed with the help of our Superior Court judges, et cetera, et cetera. I have the proof. I have the documentation. This has been sent to the Department of Justice even under President Barack Obama administration. So my question to you is this. Can the NAACP and the people here in Dawson and the state of Georgia trust the G.B.R. to handle this case?
Well, no, because of this. I just got off the phone of Miss Vivian Ponder in New York. She was removed from office down in Damascus. She's in New York right now. She's coming back to Georgia is to organize a branch of the NAACP. Number one, it's our job as the NAACP, anywhere we find injustice and racism rise its head, is for us to knock it down. But you gotta have support. The city of Dawson and every black person in the city of Dawson knows what's going on here. But a very few black folks will stand up and face the news as we are facing. Yes. We are calling for justice. We're calling for the district attorney. If he can't do his job, he needs to leave office. If his hands are tied, he needs to leave. I think the Superior Court judge did his due just when he asked Mr. Moore, clearly, is you going to stand by your statement? And he said yes. Now, the Superior Court judge can bring him back if he lied and throw the book at him. But targets. Chris Wright was a target when he was first elected as mayor. Target, kill him, and we can't kill him, we got to get him out of office. So you got to be strong to stand where I'm standing. The former president of the NAACP in 1994 was killed right here in this office. I succeeded him in 1994. He was killed in this office.
What was his name?
James Bond. He was dealing with corruption as I'm dealing with corruption today. Corruption inherits corruption. Old saying is, mule die, buy another. Nigga die, hire another. That same mentality is going on today.
Now I'm covering other cities, but my question is, because this name here to me, see, I cover Thomasville, Meigs, Quitman, Homerville, I'm not going to name it, I cover all those places. This name, Tommy Coleman, have come up in other cities, and I have him on video, not him, but the circumstances around his work. So my question is, who's investigating what these days in Georgia?
Well, I'm saying to you now that as president of the Taylor County branch of the NAACP, I don't see Tommy Coleman defending the city manager of Dawson because he is here to represent the city, not an individual that works for the city. That's a conflict of interest. And if we don't bring this light to the public, it never will be brought to light. So that's what you call sweeping under the rug. We see things, we hush our mouths and go on about our business. But until black folks stand up together and fight together, we're not going to come about the change. Everybody talked about is Dr. King's teaching and his preaching relevant today. It's very much relevant today as it was when he was alive, and more relevant than it is now. If suffering for my people, let me suffer. If going hungry for my people, let me go hungry. And if dying for my people, let me die for my people. You got to have leadership. You got to have the pastors. You got to have the teachers. You got to have the voters. You got to have people up and saying, I'm tired, it's enough, it's enough, I'm tired, I'm not taking it no longer.
My last question, and I do this is my very last question. I heard you make a statement, and I want to commend you for making the statement that you made, which is positive, for and on behalf of WALB 10 News, because across the state of Georgia, the black community don't have news media that will come out and do what is being done here today. So I thank you for commending WALB if they are worthy of what you are saying, because we got to have freedom of the press. The founding fathers so set this up. So thank you for making that statement, if it is indeed true.
It's true. She can tell you.
Thank you very much.
Do you have anything else that you would like to say on this case? Oh, not a problem.
And both of y'all are invited back Tuesday. You have any news of it?
And it's here?
Yes, we have it here.
What time Tuesday? I got to go in Glensdale.
We're going to meet here at 5:30. City Council starts at 6:30, and we're going to march from here up there. If I had a march all about
And it's Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
Okay. I'm going to have to put another reporter on that, unfortunately, because I go live at 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
So if anything, I'll try and be live here to do that, but I'll let you know. But thank you for inviting me. I do appreciate it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
he was already in jail then, serving time for bank robbery.
Right.
So when he finished serving his time for bank robbery, he came. The judge explained to him, "Is this what you did?" He said, "Yes." 2 or 3 times asked him. He was talking low. He wanted us to hear in the audience what he had said. Now, Tommy Coleman is a smart lawyer. He represents several counties from here. He's getting paid, highly paid. And what he does is help the widow boys out. He wants to stay in the graces of the city and keep on siphoning off that money he's getting for representing the city. Now, I'm not going to try to argue, but I'm going to tell you one thing. What I know, it's in the court records. That's all I know. It's in the court's records. The G.B.R. has the records. The G.B.R. might not come forth with them.
Right.
But under Open Records Act, you can get the information from them.
Right.
So I would really like for you to get the records of the proceedings on last Tuesday for yourself.
Right.
Superior Court judge is right around here.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you again. No, not a problem at all. All right.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Boston Rhines. I was in Dawson, several years ago concerning the mayor of the city, and now we find out that some new information have popped up, and it's just like the other 25 to 35 cities that I've been talking about, CNN, MSNBC, HLN, and the rest of the crew. They seem to turn deaf ear to this. Now I got an individual here in the chair that want to tell a little bit. I want him to, what's your name?
My name is Corey Johnson, sir.
I want you to just tell what you know about what is happening with this former mayor here.
Well, sir, all right, it's like this right here. Ever since this stuff started, I have been paying attention. I have been watching what was going on. And from the beginning, I have never seen the city manager and the chief of police ride around together in the city car for like at least a week straight. A week straight. Over here in my neighborhood, where I was staying at. A week straight. So, okay, things happen.
First of all, state what happened to the mayor.
The mayor was, it was an attempted assassination on the mayor, Christopher
And he was
Wright.
shot. I reported he was shot about 5 or 6 times, right?
He was shot 6 times.
6 times. Okay, go ahead. So that's what it's all about, right?
That's what it's all about. See, these folks down here have been stealing money for the longest. And there's a lot of them that's involved. They're trying to cover this stuff up. They don't want to be caught. They want to continue to steal money from down here. They want to continue to oppress us down here. These people have even killed the old president of NAAC.P, Mr. Bond.
In this building, I understand.
In this building right here that I'm sitting in right now.
Nothing was done about it?
Nothing was done about it. They got somebody to take the fall for it who wouldn't tell on them. So, okay, my nephew, the ex-mayor, Christopher Wright, got shot. 2 weeks later, I'm at Junior Food Store, Sicko up here. I comes in the store. I don't see the individual at first, but time I come in the store, he runs. He runs and go to the side over there where the beer at and the sodas at and bend down, hiding. What are you hiding for? Who did anything to you? Who said anything to you? And when I said to myself, I said, Corey, just look over the top of that shelf right there and see who that is. Don't ran and hid down there. And when I looked down there, he looked me right in my face, and it was Robert Aubrey. Why would you do that?
Who is he?
He's the mayor now.
Oh, wow.
He's the mayor now.
A black guy, white guy?
Black guy.
Okay.
Who would never comment when they asked him did he have any comments when he lost the election to my nephew, Chris Wright. And it's just...
So short form, you don't have no confidence in the current mayor you talking about, and he black?
I don't have no confidence in him at all.
And what's his name again?
His name is Robert Aubrey.
Okay.
Same individual who have had, I think, 55 insurance fraud cases on him. Who he paid the DA of Albany, what's named Ken Hodges, sweep it up on the rug. And once he did that, a few years later, Ken Hodges left from Dougherty County. He in Atlanta now. He's in Atlanta. You know, they just, it's a buddy system down here. Good old boy system.
And it's pretty tight.
Yes, sir.
And can you all get any kind of help? What about black attorneys? It's hard to get attorneys. I mean, what's
we can't get no help.
What kind of help?
We can't get no help.
Have you all tried CNN, MSNBC, Date Hounds, or 43 Hours, or 3 Minutes? Anybody? Won't nobody come in and investigate?
Nobody come in and investigate. Nobody.
Congressional Black Caucus, or Blue Caucus, or White Caucus, or Brown Caucus? Won't nobody come in?
Can't get no help, sir. No help.
But yet you do have people in your family that have joined the Marine, the Army, the Coast Guard, the Special Forces to fight and die for the country, but they can't get no freedom of the press. They come in here and press truth against the paper and the pen so everybody can see what's going on?
Yes, sir.
So you probably got a legitimate question in terms of why are we sending our sons and our daughters to serve in the armed forces and we can't get a free press to tell our story? Would you agree with that? And what else you want to say?
Yes, sir. I totally agree with that. My father was in the service. My sister was in the service. My brother was in the service. My other sister was in the service. They don't fought for their country. Went to war. Desert Storm went to war.
How that make you feel, man?
That made me feel real bad. That made me feel like we don't have a future. We don't have a future.
One other thing, my brother. I know you say you want to make it brief, and I want to make it brief too. But all these cities I'm covering, I ain't no CNN. And Victor Blackwell, I'm telling you the truth. I watch him, and and Lemon, the rest of them. I don't understand how this stuff is bubbling up in my heart, so I can't understand how nobody can ignore what is going on in the state of Georgia and Florida with the Madison, Florida 9, what they did to them as well. So my final question to you, my brother. Short of revenge, what hope is there for the black man, woman, and their children in these torn apart communities?
The only hope that we have is relying on the Heavenly Father. Other than that, we have no hope
and
at all.
And God will bring us out, right?
He will bring us out.
He always have, but it just seems... What about your black leaders here? Do they stand with the NAAC.P? Do they come out when they are needed? The ones who profess to love Jesus, Mohammed, the son of Abraham and Yoshua, Moses, and Buddha, do they come out and stand up for what is right along the lines of Isaiah 35:8 about a highway shall be there and will be for those, the wayfaring men, and that the crooked people will not err therein? Where are the righteous folk? Are they taking a stand on behalf of good, clean government, voting rights, and keeping blacks in office that are elected after they're voted in?
No, sir. Most of them have been sold out. They're on them people payroll. Them folks are paying them off. They trying everything they do. This is one question. Why when the news people asked, they asked the city manager, do we need the FBI to come down here and investigate it? He said no. We can handle it internally. They asked the chief of police, who was Chief Whitehead then, they asked him, do you think we need to bring federal and the FBI here to investigate this? He said no. I think we can handle this internally. And why? What his name is? The city attorney, Mr. Coleman, he would not allow them folks to give Chris Wright protection. Somebody, it was going to cost the city too much.
Now you are talking about Attorney Tommy Coleman.
Tommy Coleman, exactly.
And he represents a lot of cities, I think, in the state of Georgia. I've heard, and some of them I've been to.
Yes, sir, he does.
Wow.
He's making his money too. He's in their pocket. They paying him too. Right along with the DA, Ron Smith, right along with the Judge Bishop.
Wait, you talking judges too?
The judge have been paid off. He have been paid off. He ready to retire now. He don't want his name to come up. He ready to retire and get on out of the way now.
And then after they retire, they still call him back on cases.
Yes, sir.
Give me some closing remarks, Brian. We'll close this out.
We just keeping our faith in God. We pray that God bring this stuff to a closure. We pray that God protect us, and we pray that God just keep on, protecting this family, protecting this community.
One other thing, excuse me, and this is on my heart. I'm trying to put this. Why, my brother? Because I meet this in every city. How is it that a man such as yourself will stand in the front of the camera and talk about what Christians and ministers and pastors and bishops used to talk about, but today they play the old ostrich head duck game, which is to bury your head in the sand and pretend that you're in heaven with all your black backside out and people looking at you?
Well, me, sir, I feel like it's a purpose. It's a purpose for me. I got a calling in this life, and you know, if I have to die for it, then I'm just gonna have to die for it. I won't be. My life will not be in vain. It's gonna be. I'm here for a reason, and I'm gonna stand up for that reason, whether it costs me my life or whatever, my freedom. I'm gonna stand up.
Okay. Once again, give me your name.
Corey Johnson.
What kind of work you do?
I do construction work.
Okay. Your job not in jeopardy then from speaking in?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm in Dawson, the city of Dawson. The former mayor was Christopher Wright. I've been here before. I'm back again, and I will be back again because St. John 8:32 says, and I love it so much, that ye shall know the truth, and that the truth shall set and make you free. And then another scripture I love is Matthew 24:35. Matthew 24:35 says, read right in the Bible, Jesus said, heaven and earth would pass away, but my word, my truth, my justice
will stand.
Will stand forever. And that's what I stand on. Thank you, my brother. Peace be unto you. The Ghetto Free Press. We report what others ignore. This is the Get To Free Press, and we report what others ignore. This is your First Amendment right to know without whiteouts from a controlled news media whiteout network. And we are located in Valdosta, Georgia, and we are here to inform, educate, and persuade if necessary. Always keep that in mind. Moreover, I want to say to you that as a community, state, nation, and world, we are not who we claim to be, but who we prove ourselves to be over a given period of time. And if we are a liar, time will tell. And if we are a racist or a hater, time will tell. And our righteous and holy God already know. So you are only fooling yourselves. Again, the Ghetto Free Press. I'm George Boston Wright.